Right on.
Hello, friends.
Let's enjoy it, guys. Let's enjoy
it. Love it.
All right, so
good moments. Good moments. Good enough.
This is going to get pulled for copyright.
We are, dude. Maybe.
The Wi-Fi kind of drowned it out, so it's not exactly the same. So I think we're okay.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
That's fair. So let's get stuck in really quickly. Man, Granddaddy day one, dude. God, I was plugged. I was stuck in all day. A lot of really, really tight matches today. Although the result wasn't optimal. We ran through what we thought the optimal situation would be for us last night. Not as optimal, right? Team Callaway just gets the job done late in matches. They take a 9.5 to 2.5 lead over Team THP and the good guys here. So a little bit of an Empire Strikes Back moment right now. You remember Luke gets his hand cut off, and then they're gonna go to the nest, and the nest is gonna be like Dagobah, and then tomorrow they're gonna show up like Luke did in Return of the Jedi. And make
how hungover was Luke in Return of the Jedi, though? Because that's a very important thing that they should figure out.
Yeah, it's just when you look at the matches, and I'll go through it, and then I'll ask for some thoughts here. All of them, besides a couple, were really, really close. Really, really close. You know, the pairing that I loved so much yesterday, Packers girl and captain, they were giving them all they wanted in Shamble early, and then it looked like Finley and J-Rod, the Finley J-Rod connection turned it on, and they ended up winning that match 2-1. The match 2, that Shamble match, went all the way to the end. It was all square on the 9th hole, and Luke and Paul stole this point from us like it was just So those first 2 matches, they get 2 points on the board, and then the attention turned to D-Nevs and
Johnny Wonder
against Fluffle and Templeton. And it looked like we were cruising our way to a point there, right? They had won the 8th hole to go 1 up. And then all of a sudden, D-Nevs, in traditional D-Nevs fashion, who still has more halves on his career resume than losses, somehow grinded out a half when they won the 9th there. That did put our first points on the board with a half. Another match 4 in Shamble goes all the way to the 9th tee-box all square, and here it goes again. Team Callaway wins the 9th hole, and we lose that match 1 up. Scrapped what? The pairing of the day, they ended up winning both matches. Yes. They win their match against Ethan and Jeff 2-1. So that gives us a little bit of momentum. And then apparently Captain Hibbler and Mansess ran into the Zach and Austin connection, like the Rock and Roll Express, like Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson back in the day, as they just tore through them and they won that Shamble match 4-2. Thoughts on Shamble? I mean, it's 4.5 to 1.5 at the end of that sesh. Captain Dimples, I'll start with you.
The scrap, say what, was kind of one of the guys I really, really thought he was going to do well with scrap. I said it on Tuesday, and they performed, which was awesome. And you run into J-Rod. He's a killer. Finley's a killer. It's tough to come back from that.
Yeah, it's absolutely tough. Wardy, Shamble thoughts.
Like kind of what you said, it was a lot closer in a couple of those matches than it looked. I mean, you go to the 9th all square, it's in your hands. You have to step up and perform, and Team Callaway did. And hats off to them. Our boys played their butts off. It's just, all it takes is a chip in here or a hole out from 78 yards or whatever for eagle, and it can absolutely steal the momentum right out of your sails. And that's kind of what it felt like happened today.
3 of the Shamble matches went to the 9th tee box all square, and we only got a half out of that.
Yeah.
That's the story. That's the
Mhm.
story of the Shamble session. Like, and we said this last night. We laid out the case. We absolutely had to do really well in Shamble because best ball and singles don't favor us, right? And we were right there. It's good.
Dax, is this the same 9th hole that you birdied to cut the lead to 6?
Yeah. I don't know why
That's
we
where it
had
could have started.
I don't know why we had so much trouble in the 9th hole. I birdied the thing. So I
Right,
don't know.
exactly.
Like, I was like, oh, well, we got this on the 9th. This is fine. Scoob, what were your Shamble thoughts, man?
I mean, that was the dagger, right?
Mm-hmm.
9th hole, all 3 matches that went to the 9th, Callaway won the hole. And you flip those, it's a completely different story. And so that's why I think coming out of day one, yeah, the points don't look great, but team is right there all day, and that gets me fired up for what tomorrow's going to look like.
When you turned over to best ball, it was a little bit. It wasn't as close. Okay. Finley and J-Rod did way better in best ball. They just crushed it. They went 4-3. J-Rod continues his sparkling Grandaddy performance, and obviously we don't get the Emmitt Smith in a Cardinals jersey version of Finley. What we got is vintage Finley today, as he went 2-0. Match 2, Luke and Paul in best ball, just a buzzsaw against double and goalie, 5-3.
Luke making putts.
Yeah, and D-Nevs and Johnny, they were never really, that match was never really in doubt. They won 2-1 against Fuffle and Templeton, but it was never in doubt. They were up as much as 3 at one point. That match started on 17, and I'm gonna go around the horn, and it started on the 17th, and they had to switch, and they played their Shamble match, and then they had to come back. So by the time they got back to 10, they were already 2 down. Like, they were 2 down because they had lost 17, they had lost 18. That had to be discombobulating to the guys because it was the match didn't go linear. And then of course, Call Me Daddy and Nick in a fist fight with P. Corf and Derp. Just those 2 pairings were like just so tight. Both of those matches were so tight, both in Shamble and best ball. We again have a chance to attempt to win that one on the last hole, as that one was all squared going into the final hole, and Callaway in what became repeatedly the story today, won the last hole when it was all square and the match was on the line. Our only win in the best ball sesh, our only point in the best ball sesh, was the scrap what pairing against Ethan and Jeff. Jeff and Ethan went 0-2 today. It's the only sort of blemish on the card. And then Captain Hibbler and Mancest, again, that they had to play Zach and Austin, and apparently they were just throwing darts out there. I knew that Zach was going to be prepared when I saw him show up at the Performance Center in Aviators, like Tom Cruise, like Maverick or whatever. Illiterate, I'll start with you. Best ball thoughts.
Yeah, so a little bit opposite of what you saw in the Shamble format. You saw a lot of green on the scoreboard in Shamble. Kind of the opposite here in best ball, and you really seen Team Callaway kind of grab the bull by the horns. What I will point out is, I mean, you look at the P-Corf DRP match. They started on 17. They were 1 up, got it to 2 up, and then ended up losing the last 3 holes. That was the difference there. And then even, the Hibbler Mancest team, like they hung in there. They were 1 up after 2, and then it stayed tied. And then they ended up losing the last couple holes to, and that they kind of ran away with it there at the very end. So it's kind of like, hey, that whole finishing, thing, whether it's the last hole in Shamble or last hole in best ball. And then props to, Say What and Scrap. I mean, that pairing, they started on 18. They were 1 down, came back tied at 1 down again, ended up winning the last 2 holes in order to get that point. So that was huge for momentum coming into this next day.
Captain Dimples, I mean, your best ball thoughts.
It's hard to play against that team. They're super solid. Had to see Templeton and some of the lower handicaps put up, and it was a tough day.
Yeah.
So we end this thing. I'm going to move on to singles. I mean, I don't think you can say a whole lot more about how it went in best ball for us. So it ends up 9.5 to 2.5. We, in order to win the belt, we need 10 points tomorrow. The path is extremely narrow. Okay. But it's not impossible. It's not impossible. And if we're going to do this, it's going to start with match number 1. Match 1. When I run through these matches, I do have Team Callaway listed first, since they're ahead in this whole thing. So we go to match 1. Darth Finley, he is a 6. He catches Captain Hibbler 16.4. I made Darth Finley minus 400. The comeback on Hibbler plus 310. Scoob, give me
the comeback.
Okay.
Give me the comeback here. Give me the captain. Give me Hibbler. Finley can't hide behind J-Rod. I think he's going to set the tone early.
Is that a shot at Finley? I mean,
no, that is a pump up of the captain. I think he's going to do it.
Just coming out firing. I love it.
Hey, we said the path is narrow. The captain's got to set the tone.
Yeah, the path is extremely narrow, but we do have someone on this panel that has beaten this man in singles combat. Captain Dimples. What is it going to take for Captain Hibbler tomorrow to do the impossible and get this thing started on the right track?
No big holes. Stay in it. Make him make putts to beat him. I think Mr. Hibbler can do that. Played with him. He's super solid, and this new driver is going to help him out. And nice wide fairways, and he's going to have some chances for his par net birdies. He's going to take him down.
So we catch the club tomorrow, Wardy. I know that you did a lot of extensive research on the courses. I talked a little bit to Dan today. He thinks the Clive is the better course if you need to make a run in singles.
I would agree with that. To me, it's a lot wider. You've got some holes that are as much as 65 yards wide in the landing area, depending on what you decide to do. You can get pretty narrow on a couple holes. It can get in like the mid to high 20s, which is a little tight when you're looking at the length of the hole, but is more gettable. I think especially in that first match, if David wants Captain Hibbler wants any sort of chance to really keep it close, he's got to minimize his mistakes and take advantage of those pops. You're playing par fours like they're par fives. Keep it like that and make Finley have to make real pars or beat you with birdies. Don't gift wrap him holes. I don't care how you do it, just do it.
He's getting roughly 12.
Probably getting 11 or 12, right?
He's getting 11 or 12 on the clock.
I was told the math was involved in this.
It was 13 last night, but we thought it was the dial.
Oh, yeah.
Give me a minute. I can figure that out.
I'd say 11 or 12 anyway.
He did stuff on the foot today.
Yeah. I mean, I saw that from 95 yards. He needs that same type of energy if he's going to have a chance. Illiterate, while we're trying to figure out the math here, real quickly.
He's going to get 18.
18. Wow.
Course handicap is 18.
No.
Of course handicap, but are they? Is everybody getting pops, full pops, or are we popping off the low?
No, we're not popping off the low. It's 100% both ways. So Finley's going to be an adjusted
so
7.
Finley he'd get 6 because he's I'm a 5'8", he's a 6, and I'm getting 6. So I'm going to say it's probably the same math.
Okay, so it's going to be 12. So Captain Hibbler gets 12. Okay, illiterate. Thoughts on this before we move on?
The biggest thing I can say, whether it's for Captain Hibbler or for anybody, is I think if you can get out to a good start, maybe win a hole, get that half of the hole early, get a little bit of confidence going, and then you can start to believe, then this thing can happen. If Captain Hibbler can get some green on the board early, give the rest of the guys confidence and gals, man, this thing could, we could have the comeback of the cinch.
Okay. All right. I'm I'm not picking against Finley. But I'll move on because I'm going to pick us downstream. Okay. Match 2, Nick is a 2.9. He catches our man, say what? 13-1. I made Nick a slight favorite here. Minus 220 to come back on say what is plus 170. I'll start with Scoob.
Just keep it rolling. Keep hitting nukes. Keep it rolling. That's what Say What's got to do. We put the points on the board. Let's make it 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, Dimples, what do you think about this match here?
Nick's a beast, but I think what found at the ECPC with that driver is going to lead him to a one-up victory.
Okay, illiterate.
I like to say what I've liked him since yesterday, and I'm gonna roll the hot hand. We're at the craps table, and you never leave in the middle of the heater.
He's gonna get a bunch. Say what's gonna get a bunch, huh, Wardy? Like, I mean,
just at 16, probably.
Yeah, I'd probably say 15, maybe 16.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit.
So he's going to get about 12, maybe.
He's poking it out there too. I would warn him on hole 6. Maybe that's not a hole you miss left on. So it's only 236 to get by the second bunker. Please don't be anywhere near that bunker.
Look, in some of these
under any circumstance.
Holes, I think that Nick played really well today. Him and Kim, call me Daddy. Sorry, forum names, pal. Went out. And played 2 really tight matches, won them both when they had to have it. Nick was doing his fair share here. But I think that if you can get this match late, if it gets late, say what could pull the upset. That's why he's only plus 170 on the comeback. Match 3. This is the one that the forum wanted. Templeton plus 1.3. He catches Austin Tudor at 2. This is a big one. I mean, a lot of people are liking this match. A lot of people wanted to see this match, right? I heard there were some side bets on someone said, that JB had put all his money on Templeton over Tudor. Dimples. I mean, this is a star-studded show. Not many pops. This is sort of like a match you try to get out when you're the captain, right? You try to get out some of these sort of matches where someone's not having to fade of an avalanche. What are your thoughts on this one?
It's super nice not for Templeton not have fade many pops. He could be giving 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 pretty regularly. It's got to favor Templeton. Good player. Hits it far. Take advantage of it and take down Tudor.
Scoob.
This is one I would just want to watch.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. I by the way, I made this dead even, minus 110 apiece. So, illiterate.
I'm gonna pull a Canada in here and go tie.
Wardy, do you have a pick here?
I got just a couple little notes. When I made these yardages, I started laughing because I'm like, who's ever going to need these? Well, I found the group that's going to need them. End of fairway on the first hole is 345 yards. That number's in play. Hole 17, there are bunkers all up the right. The last group of bunkers begin at about 335. And it's absolutely in play. Also, if I look at it, Dan, it sometimes does move. I'm going to say I'm going to take Tudor one up.
Okay. I had it dead even. I'm going to go tie. Match 4, Call Me Daddy, 4.8. She catches DRP 34-34. I can't stand these numbers. Okay. I learned my lesson last year. I picked against Kim. I'm not picking against her again. I made her a considerable favorite in this match, minus 130. The comeback here is plus 250. Dimples, talk to me about this match.
I think there's going to be a good show here. Kim's amazing, played college golf, but Danny is one of the secret weapons. I think it's This I think is going to be a tie down to the end.
Okay. So I trade out one Grandaddy captain for another, and I still get tie picks. That's awesome. Literally.
You did it.
Listen,
Not a
what,
Grandaddy.
what did Dax was calling him Derp earlier, and last night it's
I'm gonna call him
DRP.
Derp.
Look,
I'm gonna call
he's
him
a-
Derp. I like it.
yeah, Derp.
Let's go with.
So,
You know what? Though? Hold on.
DRP
Time out. Anytime, maybe I'm doing this on purpose. Anytime I've ever mispronounced someone's name on one of these things, they've gone out the next day and shot lights out. Okay, it's a thing. So
Listen,
And stick with Derp.
there's the ASCAP is checking in. I'm going to tip my hat to Tebner. But look, DRP is a live 13 here. I really like this. I know, you said, hey, I learned my lesson last year, but, DRP is a live 13. I like the pops. Give me the plus 250.
Dan, I didn't mean it like that. You know I love you. Wardy, do you have a pick on this one here? Like, did I get a little too generous
not a
with
tie.
this line? Did I get a little too generous with this line?
I think you might
What was the line one more time? It looks
plus
Minus-
250.
Minus 330 on the favorite, Kim.
I see Kim taking this one 3-2.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And I hear there's gonna be a lot of nice shots being said.
Yeah.
She
Skip.
is just a stud.
Scoob, did I make this one too hefty?
I think this one's too hefty. They played together today,
Mhm.
so they know what they're getting into. I know at one point they both went net eagle, I think, on the best ball side. So it's going to be a fist fight out there. I think you're a little heavy on it.
Okay. I don't disagree that maybe last year scared me. And y'all got got line value. Match 5, my man Luke. He's a 2. One of the best players they've got. He's minus 300 against Mancest at a 9.2. The comeback on Mancest is plus 220. I'll start with Wardy here. Thoughts on this match?
Man, there's gonna be a lot of laughing on that match, and that sounds amazing. Manchester's got to get under Luke's skin. That's the only way. Tell him blades are better all day, and just see how long it takes to rattle them. I'm guessing Luke wins 5-4 though. Just a hunch.
Scoop?
I hope Mancest turns the table. I mean, we saw him talk about the ECPC, the putter fitting, Sam Putt Lab, Quintec. He's got his 32-inch Odyssey in hand. We know Luke had a hot putter today.
He did.
Mancest, let's flip it on him tomorrow, and let's go get this match.
Dimples, Luke's not catching the first Uber out tonight. He ain't leaving that place early. Okay, I mean, does this give us? I mean, is it you were there last year with him? Is there a nest factor here with Luke?
He was pretty early out actually last year, so hopefully it's not the case this year. The team gets him, wrangles him in on the dance floor, gets some shots going. They need to tell him the Phil mini blade is the best putter, not the actual blades. But yeah, it's going to be a good match. I like Mancest.
You like Mancest here? Do you think I got too heavy? I think it was hard to figure out how Mancest and Captain Hibbler were playing today because Zach and Austin played so well, if that makes sense.
No, I like the line. I think you're on with it. But man, if Luke continues with the hot putter, he's going to be hard to beat, no matter who's out there playing him. I like Luke in this. I'm not going to go 5-4 like Wardy, but I think maybe like one or two up, something like that. It's going to be close. Mancest is a fighter.
We'll go to match 6. It's a big number I put out there. Zach Oakley is a 6 against Fluffle Master 18-1. I made Zach minus 400. The comeback on Fluffle is plus 310. As you can tell, I love Zach in this match. I'll start with Wardy. He's rolling his eyes at me. So,
Well, I chuckled. The comments, some of them are really hilarious. Apparently, some people are not going to the nest, and that's not ideal. They may be the smartest people, but also the dumbest. Go have a good time, guys. It's their last night there. This match is going to be fun. If I'm Fluffle, I would take advantage of the par 3s and the par 5s. You're getting pops on them. Take advantage of them. This is going to be a little closer than I think the last match. I think just because of pops.
D-Nevs is buying, not Luke. Hot take from not the entire team is not going.
Whoa.
Hot take from Canada, it's the most overrated thing about the Granddaddy, and he's saying it's not a hot take. I don't know.
That's a pretty hot take.
Pretty hot.
I mean,
Dan doesn't like clowns, so I don't think.
where else
Ness
can you
was good for Dan.
go? Where else can you go? Dance with dance on the dance floor with people that are old enough to be your grandma, and then meet a clown. Not many places. Okay, so I mean, just soak it in. Okay, for a second.
Didn't your partner almost go home with somebody at the?
Yeah, Cobra almost got.
Oh,
Cobra almost
yeah, I
got
do remember that.
kidnapped. The Cobra clutch, man. He had a couple of them around him.
Well, if some of these guys want to get into the hideaway, what better place than to find the sugar mama that you can get in her will before she drops?
Right.
And then look at that. You inherit a little bit of money, and now you too can have a membership to the hideaway.
We got called a football team
science.
last year.
Captain Dimples, is this too much? Like Zach played extremely well today.
That's
this
a
is,
requirement.
Maybe he rode Luke's hot putter. Maybe he did. Maybe he
I
can.
mean, so what is a
He played
Fluffle
well.
adjusted here? Wardy, give me the adjusted number on Fluffle. So he's gonna
Probably
get,
20 or 21.
so Zach's probably an adjusted 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no,
I'm guessing
we
it's
said
about 1.5.
6.
14.
Okay, so it's probably going to lay 13, 14.
Yeah, something like that.
Easy.
I mean, so that's going to be a little bit brutal. Scooby, do you have any thoughts on this match before I get to some juice? There's a couple of juicy ones in here I need to get to.
I mean, for Fluffle, we saw the Sox today, and they were on point. Just swing your swing, play your game, enjoy the lemonades, and let the golf fall where it may.
I like it. Match 7, D-Nevs, 8.1. He catches scrap, a 13.5. This is a little, I mean, it just almost even line, but I'm going to make you pay. I'm going to make you pay juice to get D-Nevs and his sparkling Granddaddy record. D-Nevs is minus 170. The comeback plus 120. Scoob, I ended with you. I'll start with you on this match. What are your thoughts here?
I mean, you look at D-Nev's record, but you look at Scrap's record. It's going to be a fight. It's going to be a fun one.
Did D-Nev go 2-0 today?
Yes.
D-Nevs did
2-0
indeed.
versus 2-0. That's an awesome match,
Yeah.
and you can see it with the odds.
No, I'm sorry.
there's
I'm
a
sorry.
tie. There's
I'm
a
sorry.
half.
There's
There's
a
a
half.
Oh,
Okay.
he's at half. Okay.
D-Nevs was
D-Nev's
involved.
had a half.
D-Nevs 1.5 points today. He was involved in the half.
Well, see, I'm curious. In typical THP fashion, how many coattails was D-Nevs riding on? Did Johnny carry most of those matches, or did Neville actually participate? I don't even know.
D-Nevs is in the
How many-
chat. Maybe he can chime in.
I
How
know.
many
How
played
many
today?
Listen, stop. Just stop right now. D-Nevs has won 80% of his matches at the Grandaddy. Okay. And he has, even after today's total, even with Finley winning twice and him only getting 1.5, D-Nevs still has the most points in Granddaddy history. Like, yeah, Scrap played great today. The line is reflective of it. D-Nevs is a slight favorite here. But let's not get crazy. I mean, this is the most point getter in the history of the Team Callaway.
I mean, staying on brand, Phil was also the leading scorer points for the Ryder Cup, and he had a losing record. So, Neville's getting salty in the chat.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and say now. Scrap wins 2-1.
Okay. I mean, he's lethal.
I like Scrap too.
Captain Dimples, your thoughts on D-Nevs here in this match?
He's incredible. He's one of the heart and souls of that team. Yeah, always. What'd you say? Every year he's played in it.
Yeah. No. Since 2014, he didn't play in 2013.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
eight straight, whatever. But yeah, this one's gonna be a battle, and I'm gonna go tie.
Okay. Anybody else want to make a pick on this? I'm picking D-Nevs in a close one. Anyone?
I'm going with Scrap here. I like him getting some extra pops here. He played well today. He's got some confidence coming in. Yeah, give me Scrap in a tight one, 2-1.
Okay. Match 8. Jeff Newton. He's a 9. He catches double B, 7.4. I make double B minus 200. He is the favorite here. The comeback on Jeff Newton is plus 150. Jeff's Grandaddy record is not very good. Okay, like I don't mind. He's probably never going to watch this, but
He loves Wednesday night.
Neville's right there. He can literally just tell him.
What did he do today? What did Jeff do today?
0-2.
0-2 today. That's right.
He ran into the THP buzzsaw.
Yeah. So with his 0-2 performance today, it makes his total Grandaddy record 4-5. He's never won a singles match in any of his appearances. It drops his winning percentage to below 500. Double played decent today. I think he was golfing his ball around. Just ran into a buzzsaw in best ball against Luke. Wardy, thoughts here? Make us a favorite.
This one's going to be a pretty good match. I think Double B wins it on 18 1-up. I think this one goes back and forth.
Okay, Double D 1-up. Scooby.
Double D.
Double B. I'm going to go double B 1-up as well. I think he's got the right mindset. You saw it in the videos. He's loving it. He's feeling good.
Illiterate, thoughts on this one?
I like double B, 4-3.
Captain Dimples, did I make the right person the favorite here?
Absolutely. I think Newton loves the Wednesday night. I like the 4-3. Double B is gonna put some hurt on him tomorrow.
Dan wants to make a comment. Can we take a second to acknowledge how talented it is to be deemed a buzzsaw while playing for Team THP at the Grandaddy? And we had one buzzsaw team. Scrap what? Yeah, tough to do. I said B, right? Or did I?
You said D.
My bad.
You said D.
You got something else on your mind, Dax.
Whatever.
for you.
Let me move.
Dax's head's in the gutter.
Right.
Cougar
His head's exactly where it needs to be.
We start talking about the nest, and then Dax is double D's.
All right, come on, we got to get through this. Match 9, Paul 10.3. He catches goalie here. 19, probably adjusted to what 22, 23 there. I made Paul minus 220. The comeback on goalie is plus 160. I'll start with illiterate.
So, I mean, here's the thing is, Paul played with Luke today. Did he ride the hot putter? If that's the case, goalie here getting, probably around 13 pops adjusted. I mean, that's, he's going to double pop on some holes. I like, goalie is very alive here, very alive. I think this one comes down to like the last hole. And I'm going to keep it kind of, juicy here. Give me goalie 1-up.
Okay. Captain Dimples.
I love my Minnesota boy. We played in September. He was green in regulations on par 3s. This is a nice place to get some greens in regulation on par 3s. He's going to win 3-2.
Scoob.
I like where this is going. You get the pops. I mean, he's got that goalie mentality, right? If you're going to play goalie in hockey, you're going to need to be able to bounce back from things, and I think he bounces back tomorrow and does some good work.
Wardy, what are your thoughts here? Sometimes it's hard. Paul's first appearance.
I know, I've got nothing to really go off of here, and I don't want to say tie because that's criminal. I just can't do it. I'm going to take Paul 2-1. Goalie. I say that, but if goalie can actually, get hot with his driver, like he says he was
1 billion
when he was on the range. If he can get hot with his driver, like he was like, oh, I'm hitting this thing not left, that could change it, especially on a more forgiving course. I just don't know. I don't know how goalie drove it today, so I'm going to take Paul for the moment.
It's hard to tell how Paul played today.
Goalie's getting 21 pops.
He's not getting 21. There's no way he's getting 21.
Well, he'd get 21 and Paul would get 11.
So he's late.
Yeah,
so Paul's laying 10.
Yeah, he's laying 10.
It's hard to see how well he played because Luke's putter was so hot. I don't know. I think it goes to the end. Give me Paul 1-up, but I think this one. I think 10's a hard thing to fade a lot of times, especially when you put a mid in a situation where they have to fade a ton. Okay, so give me I'll take Paul late, but I wouldn't be surprised if it went either way. Match 10, Ethan at 5.9. He catches P-Corf 5.8. This is a dead even match. I made P-Corf minus 180. Come back on Ethan plus 110. I made us a favorite here. Did I get is the right person favored here? I'll start with Dimples.
I think so. Ethan has been super solid throughout his Grandaddy career, but doesn't mean he can't lose. But
0-2 today.
He was 0-2 today. Yeah.
The whole singles, he's been super solid throughout his career. So I like P-Corf and the underdog. 1 up.
Ethan did go 0-2 today, but his singles record, he has played in every Grandaddy. Okay. Since even including the 2013 first edition, his singles record in this time is 6-2. So it has been solid. Wardy, your thoughts on this one? I made us a favorite.
This is a match I would absolutely follow on the course. It looks like it on paper. It looks like it could go back and forth. Paul's feeling pretty good based on some of his comments in the chat and the typos in it. I'm gonna say he struggles a little early, has a few drinks in him, and kind of goes on an FYWT and wins 4-3.
Okay, Scooby, give me some thoughts on this one.
I think this is going to be one of those coin flip matches. But at the end of the day, I feel like with the photos that P-Corf gave us today, that deserves points on the board.
Yeah,
Karma comes in for this one.
Before I move on from this one, listen, P-Corf played in 2 really tight matches, and he played extremely well, and he's due. I think that he gets the job done tomorrow. That's why I made him a favorite. Match 11. Oh.
Whoa.
Johnny Wonder. Johnny Callaway. 1.7. He catches Packers girl. 29.5. What is her adjusted at the club?
She got 36.
Okay.
That's amazing. I think
33.
That's wrong.
33 is what
okay.
she's getting.
The die she got 36.
Yeah.
I mean
that's a lot to fade.
That's so many.
In the lead, this is why Johnny's only minus 200 and the comeback on hers plus 140 because it is a ton to fade. Like she's got like more head covers than like an LPGA player, and she's got all of these hybrids, and she's just gonna try to hybrid away around this thing, and she's gonna double pop a ton, and then I think it's gonna be hard. She throws in a couple pars here, 5 net threes. 5 net threes is gonna win some of these holes potentially if she can keep the ball in front of her and playing at the club. It's a little easier to do that. Dimples, what do you think about this one?
Wonder can't screw up on any hole. He's gonna lose, so he's got to play super solid. Don't think he can stay together for 18 holes, giving up 30. So I like Packers girl. Too many.
He's laying 30. Wardy.
He's playing 32.
32. I'm sorry. He's going to lay 32.
Amazing. I've got Packers girl winning this one pretty heavily because Johnny can't make a single mistake. If Marjorie shoots 100, she's going to break 70 net. Have fun, Johnny.
Yeah. Scoob, what do you think? I mean, it's a lot. It's an avalanche.
It's a lot, and seeing the smiles on Packers girls' face today, just keep playing your game and make Johnny beat you with birdies because that's what's going to take. If you keep knocking your ball out, using that 8-iron for your chip and runs that we know you've been working on this summer, just make him go out and shoot 65 to try and beat you. Look, I think she gets it done.
6 net 4 is going to have holes here. Okay. Yeah. Like that. I mean, 6 net 4 is going to have holes.
And, hey, and if Johnny slips up, you could have a 7 net 5, tie the hole too. I mean,
right. Yeah. I think Marjorie wins. I think we all think that Marjorie wins this. We're going to be glued to that match. Finally, match 12. J-Rod, a 10. He catches Captain Caution and a 5.2. I make J-Rod minus 400. The comeback on Captain Caution is plus 310, mainly because J-Rod's career record, look, he won 2 more matches today. It brings his career record to 11-2. He's never lost a singles match. His winning percentage is now over 82% whenever he puts the tee in the ground. And we're laying to this guy. We're going to lay 5.
5 or 6.
Oh, he's going to lay 6.
6.
Yeah,
we're
6.
We're laying 6 to this guy.
He's really a 4.
Yeah, let me take this one first, Dax. I
need a
we
member
got
guest
J-Rod today chipping in. Like all the chips are falling his way. At some point, the guy's got to play to his handicap, right, and quit playing below it. But anyway, I think as Canadian said, a 10. I like J-Rod here, and it may not be close.
Dimples.
Let's go out and shock the world. Take the guy down.
Captain
Someone's got to do it. It's eventually got to happen.
I think he did play pretty well today. I mean, him and Marjorie, and you know what? He played with J-Rod today. He knows what he's getting into. He played.
Mm-hmm.
He played both matches.
Did he ask for this match?
I don't know.
If he did, then I changed my pick to him.
Okay, Scoob.
I mean, when the match got announced, he was fired up on the forum. So I think he's going to be ready for it. Man, he's got to have to beat it to beat J-Rod. It's a tall hill.
Wardy, the greatest.
Is he one of the ones going to the nest?
Oh, absolutely.
I think everyone's.
Oh, yeah.
I think everyone's going, from what I've heard.
2 things. One, JB Cobb, the yardage difference between Johnny Wonder and Packers girls, a little over 900 yards. That's a pretty big number. That's awesome. As far as the actual match, I go with J-Rod, my future member guest partner. I feel he is like the best 10 handicap I've ever seen in my life. He chunked it on a second shot and then chipped in because of course he did.
Because that's what he does.
That's what he does. He just takes advantage of that stuff. I go with J-Rod, and it's a hard-fought match.
So, yeah, I mean, it could get. Look, here's the thing. When Captain Caution eventually watches this, he's going to see that I made him like a 4-1 dog, and this has nothing to do with the way you played today. It has nothing to do with what I think your ability is. You're going to lay like 6 to a guy that doesn't lose ever. Okay. And that's why the odds reflect that. All right. We'll go around the horn. Final thoughts. We need 10 points tomorrow. It's a tough climb. It's going to be a tough climb. I just want to win one of these singles days at some point, right? The last time that we won a singles day was 2016. We won 7-5. Every other singles day has been an absolute, just beat down. 67% is their winning percentage on singles day. When I say they, I mean Team Callaway. Final thoughts. I'll go around the horn. I'll start with Wardy and just work my way around.
I like the idea of just win singles tomorrow. That gives a lot of hope into it. More focused, win your match. Don't worry about the people behind you. Don't worry about the people in front of you. Focus on your match. Go out there, give it a shot. And keep in mind, J-Rod is why we can't have nice things. So you're going to have to work hard, especially for Captain Caution.
I just saw that Mike said J-Rod is why we can't have nice things. Scooby, final thoughts from you?
Just to the THPers out there, keep bringing it like you are. Keep bringing the form, the photos. Keep bringing the video clips. We're loving it. We are living it through you all. We can see the excitement, and I'm going to jump on the train with the rest of y'all. Let's go win singles day.
Right. I'll go illiterate.
Well, first, thanks to all these people that jumped on here kind of with no notice that are following along. Much appreciated. A lot of fun having you guys on too. But I mean, yeah, let's go out and win singles. I mean, 10 points is a lot to ask. Is it impossible? No. But it can be done. Just go out there, play your butts off, play hard, and let the chips fall where they may. A couple things go our way today. We're right in this thing, and maybe the chips fall our way tomorrow.
Captain Dimples.
You have to commend all 12 players. Tevener was running around doing all kinds of stuff, getting everyone live updating. It's an incredible time. Tomorrow is kind of bittersweet. It's the last day at Hideaway for most people, and enjoy it. Have fun. Go make a hole in one at the Hideaway in THP land. It'd be incredible.
God, that bill would be so expensive.
So
I'd totally pay it.
So
that's how you get Blanton's poured on like the cart just for spite. Like, I don't even want this.
Here's what I'm going to say. Like, yes, you have to remember the Grandaddy isn't about it has a competition component, but it transcends the competition. Okay, so if you're the team tomorrow, yeah, we've laid out the case to try to go out there and win singles day. Maybe that things go our way. Maybe we somehow produce a miracle. Maybe we win 10 points. But if we don't, that's okay too. Okay, only one other team has done this, and you're going to play the more picturesque of the two courses. Believe it or not, if you some of you probably like, what do you mean? No. Tomorrow is actually going to look a whole lot better visually than today did. Just going to throw that out there to you. Make sure you take all the pictures. Make sure you soak in the moment. Maybe make sure that you remember all of it, because to Dimples' point, not many people get to walk back into the hollow gates of this place. Okay? It doesn't happen. This is a surreal experience for the lunatic fringe, but it's not something that happens all the time. Usually it's once in a lifetime, so make sure you make the most of this one chance. So, for MWard, for my man Scooby, for Illiterate, and for Captain Dimples, this has been JDax, and we are out. Good luck. Don't die. Try to
go
win.
get him.
Have fun.
Have fun.